if they can't hear us. Sorry.
All right, but we do need to let them know that that's not working.
They know.
And AV knows?
AV knows.
Okay.
Yes, they've been making the connections for us.
Oh, okay. Well, I just did the connection.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
guess we're good today.
Okay. Well, hopefully the court reporter can hear us. It keeps flashing. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
You got your copies over there?
It keeps flashing on me. Can you all hear pretty well, or it's gonna keeps cutting out on me? So
We can hear fine,
Okay.
thank you.
okay, I can I gotta make sure I can hear him. So let me call the interpreter. Hopefully they answer, because last time we got voicemail.
Oh.
Good morning. This is Judge Wish, the interpreter on the line.
Good morning, Your Honor. The Spanish interpreter is on the line.
Thank you so much. Have you been sworn in today?
No, Your Honor, I have not. And may I please ask in which courtroom is the defendant located so that I can dial back?
Sure, they're in BRC 2 always.
Perfect.
For us.
Thank you.
For us. Yeah, downtown it would be 3, but
Thank you, Your Honor. I have not been sworn in today.
okay. Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you swear to translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do, to the best of my ability. Flavio Rodriguez, State Certified Court Interpreter.
Okay. And good morning, sir. Can you please tell me your name?
Jordanis Duran Paz.
All right, Mr. Duran Paz, you're here in case number 2020 MM4996AO. You are arrested for 2 counts of petty theft. I do find probable cause for those offenses, and I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you in your case. Ms. Fusco, I don't know, does the state have an offer to resolve the cases today?
He has prior PTs and it's enhanceable.
Okay. So we're not going to be able to resolve your case today, Mr. Duran Paz. I am going to order that you're not to return back to the Circle K at 801 South Cimarron Boulevard, nor are you to have any contact with any listed victim or witness in the case. If you were trespassed, you'll need to abide by any trespass warning. I am going to stay the bonds at $250 and $100. I'm not taking any action on the trespass that he's out on release on. The PD was appointed in that case. Make sure you do not miss any court dates for either case, okay?
Okay, yes.
Thank you.
Dexter know that the Portuguese are going to do it towards the end.
Okay, and I think that, Madam Interpreter, can you make an announcement in the gallery if anybody needs the interpreter to please raise their hand?
Of course, Your Honor. Buenos días. En el área del público en la sala, si hay alguien más que necesite los servicios del intérprete al español, por favor levante la mano para que el juez le pueda convocar.
All right, I see no hands raised. Thank you so much, Madam Interpreter. I think that was our only Spanish case.
You're very welcome, Your Honor. Have a very good morning.
You too. And Dexter,
Yes, ma'am.
we are going to do, is the Portuguese a DV? It's a VOP?
It's a felony
Okay,
VOP,
all right.
Your Honor.
Okay, we're going to do that at the end, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Why is this here?
They came in and started up yesterday and didn't explain it. Not sure.
Okay. All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name, please?
Good morning. Ernest James Toomer.
All right, Mr. Toomer, you're here in 2020 CF 7097AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was previously found for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon domestic violence and battery with one prior battery conviction domestic violence. And I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you in that case. You also got 2020 MM 5003AO. It's a resisting an officer without violence. I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender in that case for you. Ms. Fusco, did the state have an offer on 2020 MM 5003?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay.
No?
All right. So, Mr. Toomer, do we have any witnesses present for Mr. Toomer? Nope. Okay. All right. Mr. Toomer, I'm ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case. I'll have you sign the no contact order.
Okay.
Do you understand everything in that order?
Yes, no contact with the victim?
Yeah, everything that's in that order you need to abide by. So you need to make sure you'll get a copy of it, I believe. So you need to make sure that you understand everything that's in it. If you have any questions about it, you can ask your attorney, unless it's right now, and you can ask me.
I understand.
Okay, you're also to maintain a separate residence. You're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. And you do qualify for pretrial release. I'm going to place you on pretrial release for both of the cases.
Okay.
You're going to need to make sure that you comply with my conditions of release and that they are requiring whatever they require you to do. If you don't, it can be a new law violation and your release can be revoked. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck, sir.
Your Honor, any conditions for
Thank
the
you.
MM case?
I'm sorry?
Any conditions for the MM case?
No.
Hello,
Good morning. Can you tell me your name?
Walton.
Keaton?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. You are here in 2020 CF 8294AO. You were arrested for aggravated assault, dating violence, and criminal mischief. I do find probable cause for those offenses. And I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. Do we have any witnesses present for Walton? Nope. All right, Mr. Walton, I'm going to have you sign the no contact order. I'm ordering no contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case or any witnesses. Do you understand everything on that form?
I believe so.
Okay. If you have questions about it, you can call the public defender to make sure that you don't violate any of those conditions. You're to maintain a separate residence, no weapons or firearms or any ammunition.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond on count 1 will be $2,500. Count 2 will be $100. I'm not taking any action on the out on release cases. Do not miss any court dates and keep in touch with your attorneys on those cases, sir. Okay?
Okay, ma'am, if I was to not be able to pay those, do you know how long I may be in?
Well, your attorney, you can contact your attorneys, and there's a phone number they're going to give you. They'll file a bond motion for you.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck, sir. Oh, I already said it. Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Latoya Wynn.
All right, Ms. Wynn, you're here in 2020 CF 8290AO. You're arrested for aggravated assault with a weapon and domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause for those offenses, and I'll appoint the public defender. Do we have any witnesses here for Ms. Wynn? Nope. Okay. Ms. Wynn, I am ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. I'll have you sign the no contact order, please. Do you understand everything on the form?
Yes, ma'am, but the thing is, he lives in the apartment that I pay for. Can he be
Okay,
removed?
so I have no jurisdiction to remove anybody from where they live. So all I'm going to do is order that you maintain a separate residence. The issue of who resides where is a civil issue. So I'm just going to order maintain a separate residence. If he's not there, then you can stay at the residence, okay? If he is there, then you cannot stay at the residence. I would call the public defender. They can give you legal advice on what you can do.
Okay.
But I will put in there that if you can, if he is there, then you can return with law enforcement to get your things if you need them.
Okay.
But I can't kick him out of the home, okay?
The thing, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I never had a weapon. The
Okay,
video
don't
that
want
he
you to talk. Okay, Miss Wynn.
Okay.
You're being recorded, so today is not the day to bring up any defenses or anything that you need to discuss. All of those things with your attorney. Okay.
Okay.
So anything that you say right now could be used against you. So you just don't want to say anything. Okay.
Okay.
You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or any ammunition. You do qualify for pretrial release. I'm going to place you on pretrial release. Please make sure that you comply with those court orders and that you don't, and you comply with their conditions, okay?
Okay.
So you'll be released today on pretrial, all right?
Do I have to pay anything?
No.
Okay.
All right, good luck, ma'am. All right, good morning. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Edwin Roy Jr., ma'am.
Mr. Arroyo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're here in 2020 MM 580AW. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause for that offense, and I'll appoint the public defender. Do we have any witnesses here for Mr. Arroyo? No? Okay. All right. So I am ordering no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. Mr. Arroyo, I'll have you sign the no contact order.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand everything on that form?
Yes, ma'am. I read it. I went over it.
Okay. It's showing that you live at the same address. So I am going to order that you maintain separate residences. If for some reason you need to go back to the residence to get personal belongings, you must be with law enforcement. You can go one time with law enforcement to get those things.
Okay.
You're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. And he does not qualify for pretrial?
He did not qualify at the time of his interview.
Okay. And do you know why?
Community ties.
Okay.
I have I lost my job like 3 months ago, ma'am, and I haven't been working. I have no cash that I could pony up right now for any kind of bond.
Where are you living, Mr. Arroyo? Are you just living at that residence?
Yes.
At
121, yes,
hangar?
ma'am. But
Okay.
I have a couple friends I could probably room in with them.
When they interviewed you for a pretrial release, did you give them any of that information?
Well, I told them that I could probably go to like a program or something. But
Okay,
like
but
a
you didn't
Salvation
give them
Army.
any. You didn't give them any friends' addresses or family members that they could. Do you have family in town?
I have my mom, and she lives in Kissimmee, though.
Okay. Do you have her phone number?
No, ma'am.
You don't know her phone number, or it's in your phone?
It's yes, ma'am.
I know we don't remember people's phone numbers anymore.
No, ma'am.
How long have you lived in this area?
For a long time, about over 20 years.
Over 20 years.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to court order him into pretrial release. Mr. Klinger, I'm going to order that, or sorry, Mr. Arroyo, I'm going to order that you get in touch with the public defender's office within 24 hours of your release so they know
Yes, ma'am.
how to get in touch with you, okay? That you don't miss any court dates. If you do, you can get a warrant and you can be held at no bond until your case is resolved, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So call that phone number within 24 hours of getting out of jail, okay?
Great, thank you, ma'am.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Is it ROR or PTR, Your Honor?
It's PTRs, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, good morning. Can you tell me your name, please?
Good morning. My name is Carlos Chavez.
All right, Mr. Chavez, you're here in 2020 MM 4998AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause for that offense, and I'll appoint the public defender. We do have a witness here. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. You may I know you have a baby there, and it's going to be difficult, but the closer you can get to the microphone, and the better I can hear you.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can take the mask off in there. That's fine. Thank you. Okay. And so can you tell me your name and spell your last name for me?
My name is Leah Marrero, Marrero.
All right, Miss Marrero, and how do you know Mr. Chavez?
He's my boyfriend and my daughter's father.
Okay. Do you live together?
Yes.
And has there been any violence in your relationship in the past?
No.
Is that a no?
No.
Okay. Is this the first time law enforcement's been called out to the resident?
This is the second time that it has happened. The first time was because of a verbal argument, and the neighbors called on us. And
when was that?
I'm sorry?
When was that?
A year ago.
Okay. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
It's okay. I'm so sorry. They ended up just telling us that to maintain the peace and quiet and just go into separate rooms.
Okay. Are you afraid of Mr. Chavez?
No.
Okay. Do you want to have contact with him through the pending of the case?
Yes.
Okay. And was your child present at the time of the incident?
No, she was not.
Okay. Where was she?
She was sitting in her room when the incident happened.
Okay. And are you afraid for the safety of your child at all?
No.
Do you think drugs or alcohol had any involvement in what happened?
No.
Okay. Ms. Fusco, do you have it? Or let me ask you one additional question. Do you, if something like this were to happen again, or you felt threatened, would you feel comfortable calling law enforcement?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Fusco, do you have any other additional questions for Ms. Marrero?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Custon?
Your Honor, it's actually Pedro Mate.
I'm sorry, and I never asked anybody to announce themselves for the record, so if we could all do that, and I skipped over that part. So.
Elaine Fusco, State Attorney's Office.
Pedro Matos, Public Defender.
Okay. Mr. Matos, do you have any questions for Ms. Marrero?
Just one. Miss Marrero, would you be okay with Mr. Arroyo having contact with the child?
I'm sorry?
Would you be fine with Mr. Marrero, Mr. Arroyo, right? Having any contact with the child? Chavez.
Yes. I have no problem with that.
That's the only question I had, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Marrero, for your testimony. Based on my review of the affidavit, I understand your testimony, but I am going to order no contact today. His attorneys will be able to file a motion to change that no contact order in writing by a judge at a later date. That will have to be filed in a motion, and that will have a little bit more in-depth hearing on the issues. Okay. Is there an individual that you, if the child, if you want your child to have contact with Mr. Chavez, is there somebody that can be the go-between? Because you're not going to be able to have contact, but
his mother.
Okay, can you tell me her name and spell her name for me?
It's Lynette, Linette, Colon, Colon.
Okay, and that's Mr. Chavez's mother. Okay, and you're comfortable with her having the contact?
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Chavez, your mom will be able to help you with the child, to see your child, but you may not communicate to the victim through your mother any messages or any intimidation, anything of the sort, okay? She can just facilitate any movement of the child if you wish to see the child, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I'm actually, your mom's not here to tell me that she's willing to do that or not. I'm assuming that she may be willing to do that, but if she's not, you cannot have any contact with the victim. You need to contact your attorney, and they will file the appropriate motions to allow for any other contact to exchange the child or allow contact. Okay? Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to have you sign the no contact order form. Do you understand everything on that form and everything that we discussed about the child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're going to have to maintain a separate residence. If you need to return back to the residence, you'll need to go with law enforcement. One time to get anything, you're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. And you do qualify for pretrial release. I'm going to place you on pretrial release. Make sure you comply with my court orders as well as their conditions, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And can we put her in the court minutes?
I did.
Okay.
I spelled the first name. I did.
All right, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Terrence Glass.
All right, Mr. Glass, you're here in 2020 MM 498780. You're arrested for dating violence battery. I do find probable cause for that offense, and I will appoint the public defender. Do we have any witnesses present for Mr. Glass? No? Okay. So I am going to order, Mr. Glass, that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. I'll have you sign that no contact order. Do you understand everything on the form?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're also to maintain a separate residence. If you need to return to the residence, you must be with law enforcement. You can go one time. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition, and no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I'm going to place you in pretrial release. Make sure that you comply with those court orders as well as their conditions, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Sometimes we don't get it until like the day of.
All right. Good morning. Can you tell me your name?
Yes, my name is Daniel Gonzalez.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, you're here in 2020 MM 5000 AO. You're arrested for dating violence battery. I do find probable cause for that offense, and I will appoint the public defender. We do have a witness present. Can you raise your right hand, ma'am? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. You just have to talk a little bit louder for me when you do talk. You can put your hand down now. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name for me, please?
My name is Farzana Munawara, MUNAWWARAH.
All right. And then how do you know Mr. Gonzalez?
He's my boyfriend.
And how long have you been together?
About a month.
A month? Okay. Do you live together?
Yes.
And are you afraid of him?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Fusco, do you have any other questions?
Do you want no contact with him?
No contact.
Okay, thank you.
Was that a no?
No.
Okay. Mr. Matos?
No, Your Honor, I don't have any
No
questions.
questions? All right. Thank you, ma'am, for your testimony. I do appreciate it. Mr. Gonzalez, I am going to order that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case. I'll have you sign the no contact order. Do you understand everything on that form?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're also to maintain a separate residence. If you need to return back to the residence to get your things, you must be with law enforcement. So you cannot go over there without law enforcement. Call them ahead of time. They'll tell you where to go to meet them. Don't go to the house and wait for them, okay? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. How long can it be until I can actually go back to the residence?
Well, that's an issue that's a civil issue, okay? So until this case is over or it's changed in writing by a judge,
Okay.
so you're going to have, it's going to be a Division 50 case, so you'll have a Judge Shoemaker and your attorneys will be able to file any motions with him as it relates to contact or going back to the home or anything like that. But I'm ordering maintain a separate residence. If she leaves the residence and she's not staying there, then you can be at the residence.
Okay, because she can't be there. I mean, she doesn't have a key to get in, so she can't really be in. So I don't-
Okay, well, if she's living there as she's testified, I can't kick her out of her home, okay?
But she does, like,
So-
she has no, I'm sorry.
Okay, like I said, if she's not at the residence, you can be at the residence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? So if for some reason she's unable to get into the residence and she can't live there, then you can be there.
Okay,
Do you understand?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
you're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. I am going to place you on pretrial release. So you'll need to check in with pretrial release. So make sure you comply with those conditions as well as my orders, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for your testimony. All right, please tell me your name, sir.
Marcy Goo.
All right. Mr. Gu, you're here in 2020 MM 5002AO. It's domestic violence battery. And do you find probable cause for that offense? And I will appoint the public defender. Do we have any witnesses here for Mr. Gu? Okay. So I'm ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. I'll have you sign the no contact order, sir. Do you understand everything on the form?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're to maintain a separate residence. You may return with law enforcement one time to get any personal belongings that you may need. No weapons, no firearms, and no ammunition. It looks like Department of Children and Families was contacted. So if they do have an investigation, you must comply with any investigation. I am going to set your bond at $500. All right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good luck.
Your Honor, the next person on the docket, Darius Harris, medical.
Okay. I am going to appoint the public defender for Mr. Harris, 2020 MM 4999AO. Mr. Matos, did you wish to waive?
Your Honor, are you going to revoke the bond?
Well, I mean, that's not a reason to waive or not.
Well, just because he'd be here anyways, and then we could just have him set so he would know what's going on.
Okay,
makes
you
sense.
can't communicate with him through other means, or?
I mean, we may.
I mean, I'll just reset it. That's fine.
We do email the attorneys. I'm not sure about what
I mean,
they're
my
doing
intent
downtown.
was to revoke the bond
That's
unless
what
you
I
had some
thought.
sort of other argument why I shouldn't, which I wouldn't know unless you made that argument, so.
There was no argument, so since there's going to be a revocation, we're asking this just be reset tomorrow.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you.
Judge. Hey, Paul.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
Judge, me or my girlfriend did not call the police. I don't see
I
why.
don't know, sir, I'm not dealing with your case right now. I don't know why you're talking.
Because of this Darius Harris. You are dealing with my case.
You're Mr. Harris?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. They told me that you were not coming and that you were medical. Okay, so
No,
I didn't
ma'am,
know.
I'm
I'm
right
sorry,
here.
Mr. Harris.
I apologize.
Okay, no, that's okay. There was just some confusion. Okay, all right. Is that mask broken or
Yes,
it doesn't
yes.
appear to be? Yeah. Okay. All right. Just hold it up if you can. All right. I know, Mr. Harris. All right. I'm sorry, Mr. Harris. So we're gonna. That's okay. That's okay. So it's 2020 MM 4999AO. It's a battery domestic violence. And I did find probable cause. I did appoint the PD. There's no reason to reset it or waive it at this time. And we have no witnesses present, correct, for Mr. Harris?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay. So, Mr. Harris, I am going to order that you have no contact directly or indirectly with any victim or any witness.
Yes, ma'am.
As alleged in the affidavit, I'll have you sign the no contact order form, please. Did you understand everything on that form?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're also to maintain a separate residence. If you need to go back to the residence to get any personal belongings that you may need, you must be with law enforcement. You can go one time.
Okay.
No weapons, no firearms, and no ammunition. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, and DCF was contacted, so if they have an investigation, you must comply with any investigation. Your bond will be set at $1,500.
Okay.
Okay, and then I am going to revoke your release in 2020 CF 1116 and 2020 MM 2486. I have another case here, but I have 3 out on release cases, but the charges are the same.
Yeah, that's why.
And I don't, wait, hold on. This is a question for corrections, but I only have 2 cases listed on the, and the charges are the same for the other case. They didn't put a case number.
The 2486 was removed. He should only have 2020 MM 002486. I think they just put it in 2 times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Some
so
other way to fuck
he
me
already
up.
had a revocation?
No, they just entered it 2 times. It should be
Okay,
2020,
okay.
2486, and 11680.
Okay, so I am going to revoke the bonds in those cases and set them at none. It looks like you do have the attorney on both cases. So you are going to have to get in touch with those attorneys. I'm sure the PDs that are in the courtroom with me right now are emailing them to let them know. They're going to have to file a bond motion. That's what's happening today, Mr. Harris, okay?
But it ain't gonna be able
So-
to get in court. There's no courts going on.
Mr. Harris, this is your public defender. Please cue the questions to your attorney.
We are doing bond hearings, okay? So they can file a motion to get a bond.
Okay, thank you.
All right, if you can't behave and you're going to talk like that, then you're not going to be able to stay in the courtroom, okay? So if you have any questions, you need to call your attorney and make sure that they get you a bond motion filed. As I said, they're emailing the attorneys right now to let them know, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge. We could have did better than that, man.
All right, good morning. Tell me your name.
Lori Paquin.
All right, Ms. Paquin, you're here in 2020 MM 5001AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. If you find probable cause for that offense, I am going to appoint the public defender. Do we have any witnesses present? Nope. Okay. All right, Ms. Paquin, I am going to order that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. I know it's your sister, but if you all want to have contact, that will have to be changed in writing by a judge, okay?
Okay.
So I'll have you sign the no contact order form. Did you understand everything on that form?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're also to continue to maintain a separate residence. I do not believe that you live together, correct?
No, we don't live
Okay.
together.
You're not to possess any weapons or firearms or any ammunition. You do qualify for pretrial release. I'm going to release you on pretrial release. Make sure that you comply with those orders, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, good luck, ma'am. All right, good morning. Can you tell me your name, please?
Julia Spires.
All right, Mr. Spires, you're here in 2020 MM 5008. You're arrested for trespass on property after warning
Yes.
and a violation of a domestic injunction or contact. I
Yes,
find
ma'am.
probable cause for, hold on, I find probable cause for count 1. There's no injunction that's in place. It should be a violation of a condition of pretrial release. He's out on release for a domestic violence battery case with the same victim. So I find no probable cause for the violation of an injunction. I did read the statute. It doesn't reference any contact order. It only references a violation of an injunction. So,
Yeah, oh,
hold on.
Okay, yes,
Hold
ma'am.
on, Mr. Spires. You don't want to say anything, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Relax, okay? Ms. Fusco?
So the statute, it says injunction/contact with the statute.
I've read the statute. If you want to pull it up, it does not mention a violation of a no contact order as it relates to a pretrial. It only discusses an injunction. I'll pull it up again, but have you looked at the statute?
I have not, Your Honor.
Do you have a statute book?
Yes. Can we have 24 hours to supplement, Your Honor?
Well, have you looked at the statute? So the statute is 741.314A5. When I read 4A, it says a person who willfully violates an injunction for protection against domestic violence issued pursuant to 741.30 or a foreign protection order recorded full in faith and credit pursuant to 741.315. I don't believe that it's a foreign protection order. That would be out of state. And then the 4A5 is telephoning, contacting, or otherwise communicating with the petitioner directly or indirectly unless the injunction specifically allows. It's not an injunction. So the state's requesting 24 hours. I will allow them the 24 hours to get the probable cause for count 2. I'm going to set the bond on count 1 at $500. The bond will remain at none on count 2. And I'm still ordering no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. So I am going to have you sign the no contact order. Mr. Spires, do you understand everything on that form?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to have to maintain a separate residence. You cannot return to where the offense is alleged to have occurred, and no weapons or firearms or any ammunition. I won't take any action just yet on the other case. It will be reset, and it'll still be a hold for tomorrow for Judge Carter, and I will let her know.
So I will have to stay.
About
I will have to
PC
stay here
on
till tomorrow.
count 2. Mr. Spires, what's your question?
I will have to stay in here till tomorrow.
Yes.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I would object to the 24 hours and ask that he be released on ROR.
Okay, and what's your basis for the objection?
Well, since he has no probable cause and it would give him a whole other day, and we just said there was no injunction on the
Okay,
actual
so the
law.
rule, right, but there is probable cause for the violation of the condition of pretrial release.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, there's probable cause for that. If you have any other argument or case law,
No, ma'am.
so I'm gonna give them the 24 hours to provide probable cause. I don't know if it's a lesser included offense. I don't. Ms. Fusco, are you aware if it's a lesser included offense?
I'm not, and I looked at the statute that you referred to, and it's as you quoted. So I was just going to get 24 hours for them to use the correct statute. And
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm not going to take any action on the other case today, but it will still be the hold tomorrow, and Judge Carter can make that call tomorrow. Okay? Mr. Spires, you're just going to be here for a little bit longer, and so we'll see you tomorrow. Judge Carter will be here tomorrow, so see you tomorrow. Okay?
How much is my bond for right now?
Well, you have no bond on count 2 right now.
Okay.
And count 1 is $500, and you have a hold because you're out on bond for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, DV by strangulation, and criminal mischief. Okay?
Okay, and what was count 2 again?
Is a violation of an injunction or contact. I think that they just put the wrong statute in there.
Yeah, because I didn't contact.
Okay, I don't
Oh,
want
okay,
you to
okay.
talk about the facts of the
Okay.
case. It's not
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
help you today. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do we have Mr. Sanchez?
Do it, Your Honor.
He's ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right, good morning. Can you tell me your name, please?
Fabian Sanchez.
All right, Mr. Sanchez, you're here in 2020 CF 8273AO. You're arrested for aggravated battery on a pregnant person. And I do find probable cause for that offense, and I'll appoint the public defender. We do have a witness here. Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in, ma'am? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name for me?
Lucia. My last name is Estrada, Estrada.
Okay, and then how do you know Mr. Sanchez?
He's the father to my baby.
Okay, and is that an unborn child?
Yes.
Okay, so you're pregnant with
Yes.
this child. Okay. And how long have you been together?
We were together for 4 years. We split up about 8 months ago, right before I found out I was pregnant.
Okay, are you living together right now?
No, ma'am. He stayed in the house where we were staying together, and I had moved into my mother's house where I'm staying now.
Okay, so you live separately.
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No, ma'am.
Do you want to have contact with him through the pending of the case?
Yes.
Are you afraid for the safety of your unborn child?
No, ma'am.
Not at all?
No.
Has anything like this or any violence ever happened in your relationship in the past?
No, ma'am.
If you felt threatened or anything like this or any violence happened again in the future, would you contact law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Fusco, do you have any other additional questions?
No, Your Honor, but based on the kick to the mouth of the pregnant person and the unborn child and past conviction for battery, we ask for no contact at this time.
Okay. And Mr. Matos?
Your Honor, she's not scared of him, and she does want to have contact with him. We asked for no hostile contact.
Do you have any questions for her?
Ma'am, look, we already asked you if you were scared, but you do wish to have contact with him, correct?
Yes, the baby's actually due in about two weeks, so I would actually really like for him to be there.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, I do understand that you want him to be there for that. Maybe there will be some type of an exception, but or a judge would be able to make sure in writing before the child is born. So his attorneys are going to have to file a motion. I'm not going to allow contact today based on my review of the affidavit. So Mr. Sanchez, your attorneys are going to have to file a motion with the judge who's going to have this case in Division 14. I believe that is Judge Young. And you'll have to have a hearing. You'll have to come and testify, okay, about the contact. But I am going to order no contact today. So I'll have you sign the no contact order, Mr. Sanchez. Do you understand everything on the no contact order?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you planning to move to New Jersey? I have a note.
Yes, I was planning to go to New Jersey right after I get out of here.
Okay. All right. So I'm ordering that you continue to maintain a separate residence, no weapons or firearms or any ammunition. You do qualify for pretrial release. I am going to release you to pretrial release. Make sure that you comply with those conditions. So your attorneys will have to file, as I said, a motion to allow contact, okay?
Okay, am I allowed to fly to New Jersey right after I leave?
Yep, as long as you don't miss any court dates and that you comply with pretrial release, okay? I think it's phone-in, so you shouldn't have to appear in person.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? All right. Thank you, ma'am, for your testimony. Sure. Do we have Perino?
Medical, Your Honor.
Okay. So I am going to appoint the public defender for Elena Perino. She's medical, 2020 CT 499AE. And Mr. Matos, do you want to waive her appearance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so she's arrested for DUI with property damage or injury to a person of another. I do find probable cause for that offense, and she is not to have any contact with any listed victim or witness, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. The bond will stay at $1,000. I'll take no action on the out on release case. Does she have the PD in that case?
I can double check.
No. Okay, I'm going to appoint the public defender for that case for her, 2020 MM 73AE. All right, Mr. Matos?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Looks like she has an upcoming court date in a couple weeks for that. I know this flashing thing. Is my screen flashing over there?
No, Your Honor.
No? Okay. All right.
Mr. Huey is also medical.
Mr.
He's not. He was removed because of written plea and not guilty waiver.
Oh, there was a
filed.
written plea of not guilty, so he was
Okay.
removed from the docket anyway. I have Mackenberg,
Medical
And-
also.
medical.
Yes.
Okay. And medical as in not coming for a while, medical?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 2020 MM 3885AO, and there was a notice of non-filing filed, but I guess on 7/1, but I guess is there an information?
They're waiting, Your Honor. I contacted the ASA yesterday. There's some materials that they need to get in before a filing decision. I guess there have been 2 priors, and
Right, but why is it set for an arraignment then if there's no information?
A downtown judge sent an email requesting that this case be added to the Angel arraignment docket. So that's the reason why we put it on. Because I've seen the information not filing, but since they requested it.
Okay. So I'll take no action on that. There's no information filed. It looks like Judge Dubois set it for an in-jail arraignment on July 2nd. So we'll take no action on that because we won't reset anything. All right, and then Raman.
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me your name, sir?
Matsuda Raman.
All right, Mr. Rahman, you're here in 2020 MM 3835AO, and the PD was previously appointed in your case. Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is there any related felonies to this case? Anyone?
not that I found, Your Honor.
No.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes.
he can resolve this case, but he also has another. Oh, okay. The other case cannot be resolved. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. It's hard to hear with, and we all have masks on, so if you, it's not rude to yell.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yes.
I was just saying that he can resolve this case. I was going to ask for another case to be resolved as a battery.
Okay, what's the case?
We can't resolve it, Your Honor.
We
The
can't.
attorney emailed me, but it's a battery. So at this point,
okay.
Mr. Rahman can resolve this case and the state offered credit time served with the other, traditional conditions of a trespass.
No return and, okay. So do we know how, he has 8 days or 7
Yes, Your Honor. 8 days with 8 days credit time served.
8 days credit for time served, no return, and abide by the trespass. Do you want to do that, Mr. Rahman? I can't resolve your other case, so you'll still have that to resolve.
Your Honor.
Yes?
He's only in on the 4058 case, the battery for resisting offers. He's not in on the trespass.
Right, but he has 8 days credit for time served.
So you're going to remand him and close it out? Or you just going to resolve it?
I don't need to remand him.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just give him the credit that he has on it. He doesn't need to be in jail on it. I just,
I put it on.
right, but he has already had 8 days. I don't need to remand him. Mr. Rahman, do you understand what I just explained?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you're charged with trespass on property what you're charged with trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance. That's a misdemeanor of the first degree. It was alleged to have occurred at 7-Eleven at 12880 South Orange Blossom Trail, and that was May 26, 2020. You're not being held in this case. You're being held in another case, but you do have 8 days credit for time served in this case. The state's offer is to resolve your case. You would be adjudicated guilty. I would sentence you to the 8 days that you served. You would get credit for those 8 days, and I would order that you do not return back to the 7-Eleven and abide by the trespass warning. So if you want to resolve, it's probably the best offer you're going to get today, other than the case being dismissed at a later time, which it probably will not be. So what do you want to do?
All right. This is just.
Am I going home?
This is for the trespass, right?
I just explained to you what it was for.
Oh, this is for.
The trespass at 7-Eleven on May 26th.
The whole case, right? The reason why I'm here, like in jail.
You're in jail because of a battery. You're not in jail because of this case.
Okay.
So I cannot resolve your battery. I can only resolve this case. If we do not resolve this case today, you'll have to come back to court when you get, or either when you're in jail or at a later date. But you will have to come back to court for this case at another time.
Okay, all right.
So if you wanted to resolve it today, you would get credit for time served. Does the PD want to advise him of anything?
This case is this trespass is from before or new? This is a new case.
It's from May 26, 2020. I'm not comfortable taking a plea on this today, so I'm gonna enter a plea of not guilty on behalf of Mr. Rahman. He can discuss this case. He's not being held on it, so I don't think that he quite understands what's happening right now. Okay, so Mr. Rahman, we're gonna enter a plea of not guilty for you. We're gonna give you a date, and then make sure that you get in touch with the public defender.
Division 82, pretrial conference, August 3rd at 10:30 a.m., courtroom 10B.
All right.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, I have, I think that's it for the docket this morning, other than my RORs.
And your Portuguese.
Oh, thank you.
While you're doing that, because I have to call AV,
Okay.
and they have to connect us, because it's
Did you enter a not guilty
Okay.
plea on
So while you're
Andrew
doing those,
Thomas?
I'll call.
Okay, they have to call AV and connect because that black monitor is not working.
Okay.
So I'm gonna run through the 33 days until we get them on the phone, okay? All right, I have 2020 CF 7053AO. It's a 33-day motion filed by Joshua Adams on Jonathan Medina Vasquez.
Yes, Your Honor, there was a notice of non-filing on July 8th.
All right, that will be granted.
Yes, except for I'm going to say Portuguese.
Oh, that was a private interview.
Yeah.
I can get, I mean, as soon as they're ready, I can go.
Well,
So on
it's the last
Thomas,
case, so
you
she just
entered a
said,
plea
go
of
ahead
not
with you.
guilty?
We'll do it now. That's not what we're doing. Yes.
They're getting them on there, Dexter, so.
So he's going to come on the loudspeaker.
They're gonna come on the loudspeaker. All right, oh, no. Every time it flashes, I think something's happening. I got 2020 CF 4752AO Juan Miguel Correa Bentoncourt.
Yes, Your Honor, on July 8th, there was a notice of non-filing.
All right, that will be granted. 2020 CF 624180, Jimmy Ray Williams.
Yes, Your Honor, on July 8th, there was a
Welcome to
notice of
Language
non-filing.
Line Solutions.
Hold on.
Please enter your 6-digit client ID.
Okay.
For Spanish, press 1. For other, press 2. Please speak the name of the desired language.
Portuguese.
I understood Portuguese. If this is correct, say, please enter access code followed by the pound sign. Please hold for an interpreter.
Do we know which type of Portuguese?
No.
It's probably Brazil. It's probably Brazilian,
It
which
was the
is.
same one as yesterday.
It's Brazilian.
I
Your
wasn't
Honor.
here.
Yeah. It was,
Okay. If we don't say Brazilian, then
This
they'll
is
give
the
us-
port. Hello.
Hi, this is Judge Wish. Is this the Portuguese interpreter?
Yes, ma'am. May I speak to your customer, please?
Well, yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna have him approach the podium. He's in a different courtroom. Is this Brazilian Portuguese?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I am a Brazilian Portuguese interpreter.
Okay.
I did 49234.
Thank you. Have you been sworn in today?
No, ma'am. I have not.
Can you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you swear to translate from English to Portuguese, from Portuguese to English to the best of your ability?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and the individual is at the podium. If you could announce yourself and introduce yourself so I know he understands you.
Sure. Alô, você fala português?
Sim.
Senhor, eu sou intérprete português. A ligação está sendo monitorada para treinamento e garantia de qualidade. Okay, go ahead, please.
All right. Can you
Your Honor.
please tell me your name, sir?
Warley Sa.
All right, Mr. Saw, you're here in case number 2016 CF 14175.
O senhor está aqui no caso 2016, no número 14175.
You were arrested pursuant, or excuse me, for a violation of probation. It's an on-view violation of probation.
O senhor está aqui porque foi violado a probation do senhor, ok?
I do find probable cause for that offense, and I'll appoint the public defender.
Para que o senhor se defenda desta acusação, eu vou apontar para o senhor defensor público.
And your bond will be stayed at none at this time.
I beg your pardon, sir. Your Honor, I'm sorry, ma'am.
Sure. The bond will stay at 0.
Ok, sim. A fiança vai estar em 0 agora.
You will see Judge Whitehead in a couple of days.
A senhora será vista pelo juiz daqui a algumas semanas.
And that will be for an arraignment.
E aí será feito esse arraignment.
And they're going to give you a piece of paper with the public defender's number on it. You can call them if you have any questions.
Eles vão dar um pedaço de papel para o senhor com o nome e o telefone do advogado de defesa, se o senhor tiver alguma pergunta a fazer.
All right, sir, do you have any questions? And I don't talk about the facts of anything.
O senhor tem alguma pergunta? Não para falar sobre os fatos do acontecimento. Não. Só tem alguma pergunta agora?
No.
No.
Okay. Good luck, sir. Thank you so much.
Boa sorte. Obrigado, senhor. Is there anything else I can assist you with,
No,
Your Honor?
thank you, Mr. Interpreter. I appreciate your help.
You're welcome. Thank you for using our service. Have a good day, man.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Goodbye now.
Goodbye. Okay, so we were in the middle of it. We got a little interrupted. 2020 CF 624180, Jimmy Ray Williams.
On July 8th, there was a notice of non-filing.
Okay, I'm going to grant that because they did file a notice of non-filing. We did revoke his pretrial release on July 4th, just a couple days ago. And so he's been in jail for 6 days, so this would be untimely, but since the state filed a notice of non-filing, then I will grant that. And when was that filed, Ms. Fusco?
July 8th.
July 8th? Okay. CF 7054AO Bernard Young.
Yes, Your Honor, on July 8th, an information was filed, filing ID 1099305313.
All right, that will be denied. All right, I think that concludes the morning. And I don't think we have a heavy afternoon. So I still haven't read anything from this for this afternoon, so I'm gonna need some time to read. It's 10:15. Do you all want to come back at 11? That work?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So we will be back at 11 for session 2. Does that work for courtroom 2?
Your Honor, can we go 11:15, please?
That sounds fine too. So in an hour?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll be back at 11:15.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what time?
Parties announce themselves for the record, please.
Elaine Fusco, State Attorney's Office.
Pedro Matos, Public Defender.
All right. Hi, how are you? Thanks.
Good. How are you?
Mr. Crestes, how you doing? I didn't recognize you with the mask
Yeah, it's hard
on.
to
And
see.
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see anything because everything fogs up as I put them on.
That's what I have to do. I either have to take them off or to put the mask down or something.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Are you here representing, I cannot pronounce the name, so I'm not going to try.
I'll just say Abdul, Judge. Steve Carestis here on behalf of Abdul. I'll shorten it to Yusuf in 20 CF 8298, I believe.
All right. Did you file a notice of appearance?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And they did do a bond correction. I don't know if you, for count 3, it's supposed to be 500, I guess, but we'll get to that when we get there. Is Mr. Abdul Yusuf coming into court or? Okay, I didn't know if you guys were ready or not. No problem. Oh, I have this thing on upside down. too. I wonder why it won't stay on. All right.
Yeah, those things are hard to tell. Those types right there. I don't know which side.
I have like 30 masks. I can't
Yeah.
figure out any of them.
Yeah, Allison got this one, so I've been wearing this one.
All right. Good afternoon, or still good morning. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Yusuf Abdul Haq.
Okay, sir. You're here, and your attorney is present with me in the courtroom. Mr. Crestes has indicated that he's filed a notice of appearance and is representing you in this case, 2020 CF 8298. And is that the number? 8290 or 8?
8298.
Okay. And you were arrested for neglect of a child, fleeing and attempting to elude a law enforcement officer, and reckless driving. I do find probable cause. And so, Mr. Crestes, have you talked to Ms. Fusco about a bond? Count 2 is no bond at this time. I mean, he's entitled to a bond on this case.
Yes, Judge. And I'm sorry I misunderstood you. I'm working with Jake Stewart on this one. He will be filing a notice of appearance. Sorry about that.
Okay.
No, Judge, I haven't spoken to her. I mean, essentially, I do want to make a PC argument if my client can't bond out today. If my client can bond out today, then you and I can find PC on everything. It doesn't make any difference to us. But if his bond is going to, as you said, he's entitled to a bond on count 2. The issue, I'm assuming, is going to be on the 2019 on the other case. So if you don't revoke his bond, then fine. I don't have any objection to finding PC and bonds being set at a reasonable amount. If his bond is going to be revoked as a result of this, then I would like to make a PC argument.
Okay. Why don't you make your argument?
All right, then. Judge, count 1, the neglect of a child. I don't think there's sufficient evidence for that. Essentially, all we have evidence of in the police report is just speeding with a child out of a car seat. I don't think that rises to the level of child neglect. Speeding and the lack of a car seat, Judge, I just don't think is sufficient for child neglect. I know there's plenty of case law about speeding is insufficient for vehicular homicide. I don't see why, how it could be enough for neglect of a child. And then also on the fleeing, Judge, there's no evidence, there's nothing in this police report where it talks about where he turned on his lights and sirens.
Well, he's not charged with the lights and sirens. He's just charged with fleeing.
Okay, but you still have to know someone's attempting to pull you over, and there's nothing in the police report that indicates that how someone would know, how a reasonable person would know that he is being pulled over. It says in the middle, I underline a line of mine. It's hard to say exactly. There's no numbers on this, but to read a sentence here, it says, I again attempted to catch up to the vehicle and attempt to get close enough to turn on my lights and sirens to conduct the traffic stop, but I was unable to do so. So it seems to me that the police officer could never get close enough to even give any indication that this young man was supposed to stop. So if he doesn't know he's supposed to stop, then how could he possibly have any kind of necessary intent to form any kind of criminal intent that he would be there would even be probable cause for the fleeing?
Okay, so first I'll start with the child neglect. As it relates to child neglect, the statute 827.03 2D. So when I read 2D, it says, a person who willfully or by culpable negligence neglects a child without causing great bodily harm, permanent disability, or permanent disfigurement to the child commits a felony of the 3rd degree. So, so no injury needs to be present. Basically, it's neglect in terms of, that you could cause the harm. So, who willfully or by culpable negligence neglects a child without causing great bodily harm. So, I believe that there is the case law, and I've had this issue come up before, and based on what the officer wrote, that there was a small child, they were swerving in and out of lanes multiple times in between cars in an extremely dangerous manner. There was a gun thrown out of the vehicle. And so, while it's not his child, the acts of the reckless driving and possibly endangering the child, it's a pretty low threshold. Whether the state would file on that, Mr. Crusties, as you and I both know, probably not going to happen, but for probable cause, there is sufficient probable cause for the neglect. As to the fleeing, it sounds as though he came to a stop illegally and then began to drive again in excess of 70 miles an hour. And so the officer attempted to catch up. He was able to identify the individual. There was a gun that was thrown out of the vehicle, so disposing of evidence and fleeing is obviously the consciousness of guilt as to the offense. Then he stated he was driving, admitted to knowing there was not a child in the car seat, should have been a car seat. He stated he saw my vehicle behind him in the distance, but never saw his lights activated. Well, he didn't activate the lights. But based on the way that he was driving, the manner in which he was driving, the speed in which he was driving, I'm going to find that there's knowledge there that he was being advised to stop, and that he was fleeing. So, but I'll take your argument into consideration in terms of bond. So I do find the probable cause for all the neglect, the fleeing and attempting to elude, and the reckless driving. I am going to order that there's no contact with any victim, any witness, or any co-defendant, no weapons, no firearms, and no ammunition. For count 1, I will stay the bond at the $1,000. For count 2, it'll be $2,500. For count 3, I'll reduce that to $100. I'll actually, I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, I'm going to reduce count 1 to $150. And based on your argument, Mr. Carestes, while the facts aren't great for Mr. Yusuf, I'm not going to revoke the release today. So, Mr. Yusuf, I'm not going to revoke your release. Stay out of trouble. Don't have any contact with any of those individuals. Don't get arrested again. If you get arrested and you have 2 cases that you're out on release on, I can guarantee you that's not going to be a good day for you. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand everything that I've told you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so I'm going to, did I say no weapons?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So no weapons, no firearms, no ammunition. You're out on release for carrying a concealed firearm, and the allegations are there's a weapon here. So no weapons. If you have any weapons, or firearms, I'm going to require that you surrender them to law enforcement within 6 hours of any release from the Orange County Jail. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Cresty?
No, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Anything from Ms. Fusco?
I was just going to ask you to revoke the bond, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Cresty. Thank you, Mr. Yusuf. All right. Good morning. Can you tell me your name, please?
Jennifer Brightman.
All right, Miss Brightman, you're here in 2020 MM 5005AO. You're arrested for criminal mischief. I do find probable cause for that offense, and I'm going to appoint the public defender. No contact with any victim or witness in the case. You qualify for pretrial release. I'm going to place you on pretrial release. Make sure that you comply and you don't miss any court, okay?
Okay.
Do you have an address?
Yes.
Okay, what is your address?
1415 Warwick Place, 32806.
1415 Warwick Place?
Yeah.
Is that Orlando?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said 32806. 06. Okay. So we don't have an address for you. So, Ms. Custon, did you get that?
I'm sorry.
Okay, Mr. Matos, did you get
Sorry, I
that?
did not.
Okay,
Can you
so
please
I'm
repeat?
she's gonna go on pretrial release, but I want to make sure you have an address.
Okay.
And that the clerk has one as well. So, Ms. Brightman, you need to make sure that you keep in touch with the public defender. If you move,
Yes, ma'am.
you need to let them know, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good morning. Tell me your name.
William Farrell.
All right, Mr. Farrow, you're here in 2020 MM 5004AO. You're arrested for exposure of sexual organs. I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender. I don't know if the state will have an offer for you today.
No, Your Honor.
So you're not to return back to the Tijuana Flats at 4693 Gardens Park Boulevard. No contact with any victim or witness in the case. And I'm going to stay the bond at the $500. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, can we pass by Mr. Franklin?
Sure. Mr. Walters, I emailed Judge Bigney. Is he going to qualify for the mental health pretrial release? That was what was on the KPS. Huh? Okay. Okay. Are you Mr. Walters?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Mr. Walters, you're here in 2018 MM 7920AO. And you were arrested pursuant to a capias for failing to appear for your status hearing on June 12, 2020. And so Judge Bigney indicated that she wanted you to be placed on mental health pretrial release. They're going to have to screen you for that. I wasn't sure if you would qualify based on the offense, as well as the fact that you're out on release. But I reached out to Judge Bigney to see if she wanted me to do something different. I haven't heard back from her, so I'm gonna hold on to this just to make sure she doesn't want me to do something else, and I'm gonna recall you again. I'm gonna email her again. Okay?
Your Honor, I'd like to bring something to your attention. I didn't. It wasn't to my recollection about a status hearing, but that is right. I was supposed to go to a status hearing, but by me being here, it's not too safe. Guys, they're staring at me to the point that I'm trembling in the cell. I don't feel too comfortable with that.
Well,
Just to bring that to your
Walters,
attention.
I'm trying to get you released, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
But
Yes, ma'am.
I can't change what Judge Bigney wanted me to do on the KPS, so that's why I reached out to her. So if you hang tight just a little bit, we're gonna recall you, and hopefully I'll hear back from her.
Let me bring to your attention also about the status hearing. I lost the information about when the date was. I'll be at the Jackson Center from 5 until 8 o'clock working with Mr. Aris and some of the staff there at the Jackson Community Center. And the COVID, they locked down the computers and everything. I couldn't check. I'm sorry about that. But that's where I be every day. I've been doing it for 5 years now, volunteering. 4 years.
Okay, Mr.
I'm sorry
Walters,
about any inconvenience.
you're not inconveniencing me at all. So just hang tight. We're gonna
Yes,
recall
ma'am.
your case. I'm
Okay.
waiting to hear back from Judge Bigney. Okay, we're gonna
Yes, ma'am.
try to get you out. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
So hang on. Okay. Did you get that address for Miss, I don't remember her name. Yes, thank you.
I thought she was saying Walter.
Walter Eric?
All right, good afternoon. Tell me your name, sir.
Edward Gardner.
Okay, do we know what happened to Coons, James Coons?
He's behaving.
Oh, is this, okay. All right. All right, we'll address him in a second. You said Gardner? Okay. All right, Mr. Gardner, you're here in 2020 CF 7554. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant in which probable cause was found for scheme to defraud, grand theft third degree, and an attempt at uttering a forged instrument. And then it looks like counts 4 through 15 are uttering a forged instrument. So probable cause was already found by a judge. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to return back to the People Ready at 720 South Dillard Street, Winter Garden, or where any of the offenses are alleged to have occurred at. No contact with any victims or witnesses in the case. I am going to state the bond on count 1 at $2,500, and all the remaining bonds will be stayed at $100. All right, thank you. All right, so Mr. Coons' behavior, I'm going to find if did the state have an offer or anything like that?
No, Your Honor, I actually don't have his file for some reason.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of noise over here, so I couldn't.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to find his behavior to be a waiver, 2020 MO 751AO. And so, Mr. Matos, did you want to waive?
Ma'am, I don't have his file either.
What?
I don't have his file either. Like,
I don't provide you the paperwork, so I don't
know. I'm just telling
I
you.
don't know what you mean. You don't have the file.
So I don't really know anything about the case. That's what I'm trying to say.
You don't have the arrest report?
Neither of us got it, and he's not on this list either.
No, he's not on my list.
Y'all need to let the clerks know and people know that you don't get the paperwork so that you can get it. Not wait until I call the case.
We have no way of knowing it's not on the list.
It's not even.
Huh?
It was on our list.
It's not on either of our
How
lists.
do you spell it?
Not on the list.
KUHNS. It's on my docket. I'll give you the case number, 2020
Okay,
MO.
is this it is. It's under ordinances.
Yeah, it's a city and a county ordinance.
So it was definitely on there. I read it this morning.
On the ordinance? It's not.
It's on the last page, apparently, I guess. I don't have the docket in front of me, but. And then it's in Odyssey.
Oh, my misdemeanors are upstairs.
What? They're upstairs?
I think so.
All right,
It's fine. I saw it was resolvable and it was on the docket this morning. So.
What we done this morning?
Well, the state does not have an offer.
Okay, so
And
just appoint us.
So do you want to waive?
Yes.
Okay. So no weapons or firearms or any ammunition. You know, I do find the probable cause for the carrying a simulated firearm. And I am going to stay the bond at the $250, and also an MO case can be resolved at any point without an information being filed. So if you all work it out or whatever, it can be set for a plea.
Your Honor, I believe that Mr. McGee had sent out an email requesting ROR on all the city ordinance cases.
I've never received that.
I believe the state, do you get
He
that?
did.
So, do you agree to ROR?
I agree.
I need an email that says that he's agreed to ROR in every single case. I've never heard that before.
There were certain categories he didn't, I think.
And it's really not up to Mr. McGee, but yeah.
No, Your Honor, I was just saying that the state would agree, and it's up to you, but they have agreed to ROR. And obviously, it's up to your discretion.
Correction.
It's hard because his name is not actually Curtis McGee. It's something else, so I have a hard time finding it. William McGee. With an E in front of the H. Okay. I do have it, and I can forward it to you.
He exempted certain categories.
$43,068.
$43,339.
Your Honor, it was exempted on here unless the individual is charged with violation of City Code 43.39. Sorry about that, but I did forward you the email.
This is 43.39.
Yes, Your Honor, that's what I'm saying. So he said, RR except for like four.
Somebody, yeah, oh, you sent me the email?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't remember. Did he send that to me?
So this wouldn't be one of the ones he agreed to ROR.
It was to your judicial assistant, Your Honor. So you didn't bring any of the misdemeanors. So you don't know if they can resolve.
So if an individual is charged with 43.39, please contact me directly for the city's position on pretrial release conditions. So did anybody contact him? Obviously you
I
didn't know
haven't.
about the case. So I am going to stay the bond at the 250, and you can file a bond motion or get his position on the issue. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. Good afternoon, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Yes, Burkhead Gervasatic.
All right, sir, you're here in 2020 CF 8293AO. You're charged with burglary of an occupied dwelling and grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. I'm going to appoint the public defender. I find probable cause for count 2, and I find a probable cause for the lesser included offense of burglary of a structure, 810.02 1B2-8. The offense is alleged to have occurred at the Mannheim, Central Florida auto auction, and it was that he entered into the facility by gaining access through a fence. It's not a dwelling.
I agree, Your Honor.
Okay. So it's, for the purposes of the clerk, it's 810.02, subsection 1, subsection B, subsection 2-8, which is burglary of a structure. And that's count 1 and count 2. There is PC for grand theft, third degree of a motor vehicle. And so no return back to that location, sir. No contact with any victims or witnesses in the case.
Okay.
I'm going to stay the bond at the 1,000 on count 1, 500 on count 2. I am going to revoke your pretrial release in 2020 CF 5973AO, or sorry, I think it's ROR. So I'm going to revoke that.
Is there any
It's
possible way?
PTR? Okay.
Sorry, Judge. Is there any possible way if I can resolve that case?
No, it's a felony, sir, and I can't resolve a felony here. Okay. So, but your attorneys you do have an attorney, Robert Adams, I believe. Is that the public defender? Okay. All right. So you do have an attorney, and they will be able to file any appropriate motions to set bond for you in that case. Okay.
All right.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon. Tell me your name.
Hey, Colby and Franklin.
Okay. Do we have? Oh, okay. Mr. Franklin. You're here in 2020 MM 168AE. You were arrested for petty theft, and I do find probable cause. And do you have an offer, Ms. Fusco?
No, he has prior history, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Franklin, there's no offer today to resolve your case. I am going to appoint the public defender. No contact with any victim, witness, or co-defendant. You can't go back to the Publix liquor store at 242 North Orlando Avenue in Maitland, Florida. And I'm going to stay the bond at the $500. All All right, thank you. All right, tell me your name, please.
My name is April Harris, ma'am.
All right, you are here in 2020 CF 8272AO. You were arrested for possession of methamphetamine. I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Do you, Ms. Harris, do you live in Orlando?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Kissimmee? You live in Kissimmee?
Ma'am, no, ma'am. I moved from Kissimmee to.
Okay, why don't you tell me your address where you're living now?
Okay, I'll be living at 720 Carter Street, Orlando, Florida 32805, ma'am.
Okay, and then how do you expect to get to court?
I have my vehicle that they left there, ma'am. I have avoided traveling. I have no family here, but my girlfriend lives here, and so that's where I'm living at.
Okay, how long have you lived in this area?
We
Or
moved
the
from
state of
in the state of Florida
Yeah.
since 2014, ma'am.
Okay, and then how long have you lived in this Central Florida area?
About since January. No, I came in January and I left in February and I came back in April.
Are you working?
I'm disabled, ma'am. I'm legally
You're
blind.
disabled?
I'm legally
Okay.
blind, yes, ma'am.
All right, so Ms. Harris, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance, okay?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
it's very important. I'm gonna order that you get in touch with the public defender's office within 24 hours of your release. They're gonna give you a piece of paper with their phone number on it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription,
Yes,
okay?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Make sure you don't miss court if the
I won't.
state files an information and you're supposed to be anywhere or appear by video or phone or anything like that. If you don't show up, you can get a warrant and it may be no bond, and then you'll be sitting here, and you don't want that.
No, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, ma'am.
Did you get that?
Yes, I got it.
All right, Mr. Matos, did you get that address?
Yes, I
Okay, excellent. I usually ask them that when they tell me a different address or they don't have one. All right, good afternoon. Tell me your name.
Dwell Johnson.
All right, Mr. Johnson, you're here in 2020 CF 8288AO. You're arrested for driving while license revoked and no motor vehicle registration. And I do find probable cause for those offenses. And I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You can't drive without a valid driver's license. I am going to stay the bond at $2,500 and $100. You're out on release. I'm not going to revoke your release today, but you got arrested less than a month ago for driving while your license is revoked as a habitual traffic offender. So my guess is they advise you that you can't drive. I don't want you to say anything, but I'll let you know if you come back, whatever it's for, it's probably not going to be a good day for you. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so don't drive without a valid driver's license. I won't take any action. Keep in touch with the public defender. Do not miss any court dates.
Yes, ma'am. I got a question, ma'am. So,
Okay?
if I
Don't
so
talk
I
about the
can't-
facts.
Ma'am?
Don't talk about any facts, okay? Anything that happened.
No, I'm talking about this. So I can't bond out right now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right, good luck.
Hey, miss,
All
how
right,
you doing?
good afternoon.
Good
Tell me your
afternoon.
name.
It's Xavier Arsenio Johnson, 119
All right.
of 89.
Okay, thank you. All right, you're here in 2020 CF 7440AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was found for trafficking in MDMA over 10 grams. And I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you in your case. You also, you do have reporting requirements, okay? So that you understand that, I do have to advise you of any reporting requirements that you have.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
not to possess any illegal substances or any alcohol without a valid prescription, and no weapons, no firearms, and no ammunition.
Yes, ma'am.
I am going to stay the bond. I'm not revoking because of the date. It looks like the date of the arrest on the out on release case is the same date that he was arrested, or that they served the warrant in this case.
Yes, ma'am.
So he was, yeah, so he was not seen by a judge. He was arrested on March 4th on the out on release case. And this date of this offense is March 4th. So it was all at that same residence. So I'm not going to revoke your release today,
Thank you,
Mr.
ma'am.
Johnson.
Yes,
But the
ma'am.
bond will stay at the $50,000. Does he have the PD in the other case? He bonded out before he saw a judge, so my guess is no. All right. So, Mr. Johnson, I'm going to appoint the public defender for you in 2020 CF 3040AO.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now you have them on both of your cases.
Yes, ma'am.
Make sure that you keep in touch with them, okay, so they can file any motions for you, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, don't miss any court dates.
Excuse me, I'm not
Huh?
eligible. May I ask you one question?
Well,
I'm
don't
not
talk
eligible.
don't talk about the facts of the case, okay?
Okay,
So
I'm not.
what do you-
I'm not eligible for a bond reducement.
Well, I'm not, if the PD wants to take some testimony, then I'm happy to consider that, but, based on the fact of the other charge, I don't know if I'm likely to do that, but I don't know until I have some testimony.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Ma'am,
you.
I would like to ask questions. if
Thank you,
possible.
ma'am.
I'm sorry, do you want to take some testimony, Mr. Mathis?
Okay, thank you.
Please, Your Honor.
Okay, hold on, Mr. Johnson, do you want to raise your right hand to be sworn in?
What's this moment?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson, do you have any bank accounts?
No, sir.
Do you have any money saved up?
Yeah.
Can you speak up, Mr. Johnson? I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, you do have
I
money
have no
saved
bank
up?
account. I play a scratch
Do you
off.
have any money saved up, even if it's not in a bank account?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor. You can see my client doesn't have much money to pay these bonds. If they can be reduced, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Okay.
Ms. Fusco, do you have any questions for Mr. Johnson?
No, Your Honor, it's just that this is a trafficking case and the other case was for sale or delivery and the crime in itself involves large sums of money.
So the testimony that I received is he doesn't have a bank account. That's pretty much all the information I've received. So based on that, it's not enough information under 901 or 903.046 for me to make any factors as to determining the bond amount, other than he just doesn't have a bank account.
Oh, I asked him if he had no money as well.
Right, but he might have family that can pay or help him. There's a lot of other information that I would need in order to determine whether or not the bond that he would need to pay, 10% would be $5,000 to a bondsman. So I don't think that I've received that information. If you want to take additional testimony to elicit more information that I might use to make that determination.
Please, Your
I'm
Honor.
looking at a lot of drugs that were located in this house. So,
Please, may I continue asking a question? Mr. Johnson.
Yeah.
Does any of your family live here in Orlando?
Yes.
Would any of them be able to bond you out?
Yes.
Would your family be able to afford a $5,000 bond?
Yes.
10%, which is $500.
Yeah.
well, it's a $50,000 bond.
Oh, it's a
so
$50,000.
10% is $5,000.
So, would anybody in your family be able to pay $5,000 to bond you out, Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, so based on his testimony, I'm going to find that he would be able to make the bond. If he's not able to make the bond, then the public defender can file any bond motion reduction for Mr. Johnson. All right, Mr. Johnson?
Okay.
All
Thank
right,
you.
good luck, sir. All right, please tell me your name.
Yes, ma'am. Michael Kraft, K-R-A-F-T.
All right, Mr. Kraft, you're here in 2020 CF 8292AO. You're arrested for battery with one prior battery conviction. I do find probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender. It looks like they're alleging 2 victims, but they've filed 1 charge. So I'm going to order no contact with any victim or any witness as alleged in the affidavit. No weapons, no firearms, no ammunition, and you may not return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and the bond will stay set at the $2,500. All right, thank you, sir. Good luck. All right, good afternoon. Tell me your name.
Xander Lopez.
All right, Mr. Lopez, you're here in 2020 CF 3465, and you were arrested pursuant to a warrant for a violation of pretrial release. And the judge did set your bond at none in the case. So does he have the public defender?
Double check now.
Okay, it's 2020 CF 3465.
PD was previously appointed.
Okay, so you do have the public defender. They're going to have to file a motion in division, you know what division this
Division
is? 12. I think that's Judge Calderon. So Judge Calderon's going to have to determine a bond amount for you if he's going to give you a bond. So make sure you call that phone number that they give you on the piece of paper. And I'm sure the public defenders here will contact your attorney as well. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Good afternoon. Can you tell me your name, please?
Brian Lopez.
All right, Mr. Lopez, you're here in 2020 CF 8289AO. You were arrested for grand theft, 3rd degree of a motor vehicle, and possession of a counterfeit driver's license. And I do find probable cause for those offenses, and I'll appoint the public defender. You may not return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No contact with any victims or witnesses. Where do you live?
Orlando.
Where? What is your address?
9939 River Crest Court.
Is that 32825?
Correct.
Okay. Who do you live with?
My mother and my brother.
How long have you lived there?
2 to 3 years.
Okay. Do you work?
Not currently, no.
All right. Do you understand that if I release you today on your own recognizance without posting a bond, that you're going, if you don't show up to court, you'll probably get a warrant and have no bond?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So I'm going to order that you're ROR'd. I'm going to also order that you get in touch with the public defender's office within 24 hours of your release from the Orange County Jail. They're going to give you a piece of paper with a phone number on it. Make sure you call that number.
All right.
Find out who your attorney is, okay?
Okay.
I need that address.
Thank you.
It's okay. It's on the paperwork.
Oh, it's on there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, please tell me your name.
Kristen Roderick.
Ms. Roderick. Okay, thank you. All right, you are here in 2020 CF 8281AO. It's resisting an officer with violence, battery on a firefighter or officer EMT, and false ID to law enforcement. And so I do find probable cause for all of those offenses, and I will appoint the public defender to represent you. There was a bond correction for count 2. It should be $2,500, so I don't know if you all received that information. So I'm going to state the bonds, $150, and it will be that $2,500, which was corrected, and $100. You may not have any contact with any victim or witness in the case. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. And you may not return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. You're out on release in 2 cases, 2018 CF 8632AO and 2020 CF 48, is that BO? But it was consolidated to 2020 CF 482AO. I don't know which case it is.
It's the BO.
428
is 00480BO.
So I am going to revoke the releases in those cases and set them at none. Does she have the PD in both? Or an attorney? She has Mr. Thompson in one, and I don't see a name on the other one.
The BO, she has the public defender. On the 68632, she has a private attorney.
Okay, do we know who that is?
My attorney's name is Edmund.
I have Evan Self.
Okay, you have Mr. Self. Do you know how to get in touch with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You need to call Mr. Self and let him know that your bond was revoked in the case, and he'll file a bond motion in that division for you. It's Division 12, okay?
Okay.
All right. Good luck, ma'am.
Thank you.
Well, that one. I'll check that one.
All right. Good afternoon. Tell me your name, please.
JoJo Ship.
All right, Ms. Ship, you're here in 2020 CF 7492AO. You were arrested pursuant to a habeas. The state did file an information charging you with prostitution as a third-time subsequent offender. That's a felony of the 3rd degree. And probable cause was previously found by a judge in the matter. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You do have a $500 bond in the case. I'm not going to take any action on the out on release case. I don't know what's going on with that case. It looks like it's a notice to appear, but I don't have a date. So make sure you don't miss any court. You're not to return to the scene of where this offense is alleged to have occurred, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, good afternoon. Tell me your name.
Good afternoon, Brandy Smith.
All right, Ms. Smith, you're here in 2020 CF 8271AO. You're arrested for possession of cocaine with a weapon, grand theft 3rd degree of a firearm, and carrying a concealed firearm. And I do find probable cause for those offenses. I'll appoint the public defender. No contact with any witnesses or victims. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. She did not unable to investigate her ties, or?
Yes, unstable housing. Nope. She did not provide any emergency contacts, so we're unable to verify her community ties.
Okay, Ms. Smith, where do you live?
The Women Coalition, the homeless shelter, women and infant.
And how long have you been staying there?
9 months. My son is 6 months.
So you've been living there 9 months, you said? Yeah, 9?
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
okay. And then, and you live with your son there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How long have you lived in Florida?
Since 2017.
Okay. All right. You know that if you have a court date, you've got to show up to it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you don't show up, what's going to happen?
A warrant out for my arrest.
And probably no bond.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you won't be with your son.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you have no You have no prior history, no prior arrests. This is a constructive possession case. You will not have to post a bond. You're staying at the Coalition for the Homeless for Women. What would
The
you
Women
like
and
the address?
Infant, 18 North Terry Avenue.
18 North Terry Avenue. Is that where you get your mail, or do you
Yes,
get your
ma'am.
mail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I get my mail there as well.
What's the 7209 North Orange Blossom Trail? Is that like an old address?
Yes, ma'am. That was on my ID from when I first
Okay.
got here.
Okay, all right. So need to make sure, I'm gonna order that you get in touch with the public defender within 24 hours of your release from the jail, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Make sure you call them, find out who your attorney is, and then do not miss any court dates, okay?
Okay.
If you change your address or you move, you need to let the clerk know and you need to let the public defender know.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
All right. So no, I think I gave all the conditions, right?
Yes.
No contact with victims or witnesses, no weapons, and no drugs?
Yes.
and alcohol? Okay. All right. Good luck, Ms. Smith, all right?
Thank you.
PTR?
ROR.
Thank you.
All right. Please tell me your name, sir.
Darius Lorenzo Wells.
All right. Mr. Wells, you're here in 2020 CF 8280AO. You're arrested for possession of MDMA with intent to sell or deliver and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for those offenses, and I'll appoint the public defender. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. The bond will stay at $15,100. You've also got 2020 CF 7530AO. That's a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for aggravated stalking with a credible threat, written threats to kill or do bodily harm, and criminal mischief. And this is a domestic violence case. I don't have any witnesses present. So I am going to order no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. I think I had them send, okay, yes, you have a form over there. I'm going to have you sign the no contact order, please, sir. Do you understand everything on that form?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. If you have any weapons or any firearms, if you're released from the jail, you need to surrender them within 6 hours of your release to the local law enforcement agency. You've been trespassed from that residence as well, so you're to abide by the trespass warning. The bonds will stay set at $20,000 on counts 1 and 2 and $100 on count 3. I am also revoking the release in 2020 CF, is it 80044? Or it's just 440AO. And that bond will be set at none at this time. Does he have the PD in that case?
He does.
Okay, so you have the public defender. They're going to have to file a bond motion for you in that case, okay?
What is those counts?
All right, please tell me your name.
Xavier Wolfalk.
All right, Mr. Wolfalk, you're here in 2020 CF 8284AO. You were arrested for burglary of an occupied dwelling, criminal mischief, and resisting an officer without violence. There is a bond correction as to count 1. It should be $5,000, just so everybody's aware of the bond correction. I find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. You're not to return back to the 3351 Rogers Drive or have any contact with any victims or witnesses in the case. And you do qualify for pretrial release. I am gonna release you to pretrial release, okay? So if you get arrested for anything or you don't comply with pretrial release, then you can get that release revoked, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck.
I take this one. No, okay.
Your Honor, Lewis is medical.
Okay. So Mr. Lewis is medical. I'm gonna appoint the public defender. He's got two cases, 2017 CF 4828AO and 2020 CF 8297AO. Mr. Matos, did you want to waive?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 2017 CF 4828AO is a violation of community control. I do find probable cause for that. And the bond will stay at none at this time. I believe you'll see Judge Whitehead on that in a couple days. And there was a bond correction as to the trafficking in heroin. It should be a $200,000 bond based on the amount of drugs located. I'm gonna stay that bond at the 200,000 and the 150. No contact with any witness or any co-defendant. No weapons or firearms or ammunition, and no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. All right. Yes.
The next one on the list, Your Honor, is also medical.
Okay. And I'm gonna take a stab at it. Christian Non-Fun Gibalogba. I don't know. I don't know if I got that right or not, but you said medical?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So it's a violation of community control warrant. It's 2017 CF 16483AO. I'm going to appoint the public defender. Mr. Matos, did you want to waive?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So there was a warrant. The bond is set at none, and that will stay set at none. He'll see Judge Whitehead in a couple days for an arraignment.
Robert Price is behavior.
Okay, and so Mr. Price has a warrant out of Brevard County to find his behavior to be a waiver. I am going to appoint the public defender. Mr. Matos, do you want to waive?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so he has a warrant out of Brevard, 2020 CT 24915. That bond is set at, is it 1,000?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so he has a $1,000 bond. So if he's able to bond out, he can bond out. If not, I think Judge Carter will reach out to Brevard. And then if not, then the PD can file any motions to set bond or reduce the bond. Okay. Okay. Hold on one second. Who? I don't know. We've done everything today, so.
Okay.
Felony?
Oh, this was the.
NBA.
He was on a felony.
Page 9.
That's not the official copy, but.
Yeah.
I can't see anyone's faces, so I don't know who anybody is, if I know you or not.
So basically, she stayed bond, but didn't have to go to bond.
I took no action on the out on release case because of the date.
Yeah, he was served with a warrant.
Yeah, it was the same day. I did appoint the public defender. Are you filing a notice of appearance? Can you get close to a microphone, maybe? It would be, because we're.
All right, when I called the jail yesterday, they told me to come here at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, we had 37 people today, so we did a move up. Yeah,
Okay.
usually have to call the morning of, or one of the JAs, and they'll let you know.
If there's going to be a move up. Okay. The only thing I wanted to address was
Can you tell me your name?
Richard Parker.
Okay, Mr. Parker.
I represent Xavier on the other cases. He has a bunch of cases that have been pending for a couple of years because he was incompetent.
Okay. I only had the 2020 CF 3040 as the out on release.
Yeah, the other ones are on conditional release. They're all in front of Judge Adams.
Okay.
So, because he hasn't been found competent for like 3 or 4 years. So the only thing I wanted to address was the amount of bail. I was going to ask the court to set bail at $10,000 for the trafficking. Because there's really no way that he could pay the $50,000. He's homeless.
I think that we took testimony from Mr. Johnson. Mr. Matos took testimony. We did kind of a mini bond hearing and he indicated that his family would be able to pay the $5,000 bond.
Yeah, he's got a bullet in his head, so he's not really.
Okay.
100%
Do you have witnesses that you can bring in that say
They
that
won't
he-
let his mom or anybody
Yeah.
come into
Well,
the.
they can come here and testify.
His brother came up here earlier, and they wouldn't let him in. So.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it seems like the best thing to do would be to address it, I guess, with whatever the division judge.
I didn't revoke the release.
Sure,
So
yeah.
if he can bond out, he can bond out. I mean, I don't know what he indicated that his testimony was he didn't have a bank account and he didn't have money, but that his family could pay it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the testimony that I got. So that's what I went on.
That's fine. I'll.
It's Judge LeBlanc. So if you got a motion filed.
I can probably just get the division state attorney to just stipulate to it. It's
Okay.
not really an issue. So thank you, Judge.
Okay, no problem. I'm sorry, Mr. Parker. Sometimes we do move up, so
Yeah, I didn't know.
I
mean,
know.
That's
We
okay.
didn't
Thank
know.
you.
Okay, next time just call our JAs. You can try both, and you can just let us know if you're coming. You can always appear by phone too.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, can I bring, or can we bring, Mr. Walters back? Hi, Mr. Walters.
Morning.
Okay, I'm recalling Mr. Walters. This is 2018 MM 7920. I've been communicating with Judge Bigney, okay? She's indicated that, pretrial release has told me that you're not going to qualify for the mental health pretrial release due to some of your criminal history. So Judge Bigney has set a hearing for Monday, okay? So today is Thursday, so you will be seen by her on Monday, okay? And she will probably be releasing you, but with certain conditions. So you're just gonna have to hang tight until Monday, and you will see Judge Bigney, okay?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. So I'm gonna I know it says mental health pretrial release. I know that you're not gonna qualify, but she still wants to hold you until Monday, okay?
You have any records about the no limit requirement from Kissimmee?
I don't have anything, sir.
Okay.
I don't know what you're referencing, but I only have this case in front of me, and then you're out on release case, and I'm not taking any action on the other case that you have. And
I have,
looks like Mr. Spencer at the PD's office represents you in that case, okay? But I'm not taking any action on it.
I have documents that I've been holding in my backpack, and I had one of them to be in my possession so I can show them to you. It says already stayed in those documents, excuse me,
Well,
for the same MO number.
Okay, you gotta talk to Judge Bigney about all of that. She's the one that's gonna have to determine and, about this case, okay?
Am I going to be able to get those documents out of property? It's
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
concerned and worried about.
I don't know, but you know what the documents say?
Yes, it's on the
So that
same
you can-
MO
okay.
case. It says I stayed.
Okay.
That's why
so
I've been
you
holding
can-
on to it for all this period of time. I knew
Okay,
this
so
was
you
coming
tell,
up.
okay, so you tell Judge Bigney what those documents say, okay?
I'd rather show them to him because it's down in
I
property.
know,
But,
I
yes,
know,
ma'am.
I know, but I can't order them to give you any specific item out of property, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The public defender, you might want to let the attorney know that it's set for a hearing with Judge Bigney. It just said for a status on release on Monday. No, she didn't give me a time, so.
Just picking.
No, you don't pick, they're putting it on their docket.
Okay, because I wanted to put it on here, so that way they pull him
Well,
to
you
the court.
Well, Judge Bigney will have a docket and I'm not messing with her docket. It'll
Okay.
go in Jackson.
So don't, okay.
But I would just put on there, like, Judge Bigney, it's set for a status on release on Monday,
okay,
whatever day
downtown
that
court.
is, okay? But I'm not, I don't know what